Hey guys, my name is Christian Batuli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope each one of you guys is doing great. As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I look forward to making these videos. I look forward to talking to you guys because if I'm being honest, you guys are my friends. Like just the fact that you're here supporting me, it really means a lot. And I don't care if you guys think I'm your friend or not. If you're too cool for me, I don't care. You are my friend, whether you like it or not. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. Glad to have you here. Welcome to this big, loving community where we inspire one another. If you do like my content, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, and also give us a thumbs up. And lastly, if you're a return subscriber, my day one, I appreciate your support. It really means a lot and continue to rock with me. Not to waste any more time, let's jump into today's video. All right, guys. So today I'm going to share six tips that can help you create that wealth mindset. Because as we all know, in order for you to become wealthy in real life, you have to become wealthy within you. Meaning, in order for you to acquire all those things that you ever wanted, you have to make sure you acquire from within. So I'm gonna share these six tips with you guys, and I guarantee you, if you apply it into your life, you're gonna see a big difference. Starting with tip number one, you have to define what wealth and prosperity means to you. I think too many of us get lost in the dark by watching people on social media, watching our favorite celebrities, whether it's in a movie, whether it's in a basketball game, or whatever it might be, right? We watch those people and we see what they have as a way of wealth and prosperity. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Because if you can't define what wealth and prosperity means to you, then who else can define it for you? We all have a different definition of wealth and prosperity. What might means wealth and prosperity to me may not be the same to you. To give you guys an example, to make my point, some people like having money. Some people likes to have material stuff. They want to have money so they can buy foreign cars. They can have big mansions. They can buy expensive clothes, expensive shoes. They can throw lavish parties. They can have a nice boat. You know, those people, they want to have money so they can buy those things. So to them, wealth and prosperity really means that. So that's their definition of wealth and prosperity. And then you have other people that their definition of wealth and prosperity is simply traveling the world. They want to be to a different country. They want to experience different cultures, different way of life. They want to try different type of food. They want to listen to different genre of music firsthand. So to those people, wealth and prosperity means traveling the world and seeing the world for what it is. And then you have people like me who value time because I know once it's gone, you can never get it back. So for me, my definition of wealth and prosperity is time. And I know I'm probably one of the luckiest dad out there because I may not have a lot of money, but I do have a lot of wealth and prosperity when it comes to time. For example, I spend a lot of time with my son. And I know there's a lot of dads out there that will trade me places in a heartbeat so they can spend more time with their son or daughters. You know, I get to take my son to school sometimes. I get to pick him up for sure. I get to take him to soccer practice. I get to take him swimming. I get to teach him. I get to inspire him when he's feeling low. I get to basically have a positive influence on him and teach him right from wrong since I'm always there. So my goal in life is to become rich, of course, to have a lot of money so I can have more time with the people that I love. So I can spend more time with my son. So I can spend more time with my lady. So I can spend more time with my family. So I can spend more time doing things that I actually love. So once again, all of our definitions is different when it comes to wealth and prosperity. And then you have other people out there that are sick, and I'm not talking about like a minor sickness here where, you know, maybe you have a headache or you're coughing. No, we're talking about like life altering sickness. like meaning they can't even like get out the hospital. They constantly have to go in there for treatment. They constantly have to get checked out. They can't
Like,
even do the things that we so take for granted, like going out to the park, going out to the movies, hanging out with friends, working out, enjoy ice cream. Like those people can't even do that. So you think if you go out there and ask them, "Hey, I'll give you guys $1 million," of course they'll be happy. Don't get me wrong; no one would turn down $1 million. But at the end of the day, I don't think that will be their true definition of wealth and prosperity, because to them it's just being healthy again, doing regular stuff that normal people that are blessed to do will be their definition of wealth and prosperity. So that is tip number one. You have to make sure you define what wealth and prosperity really means to you. Don't look outside. Don't pay attention to your favorite celebrity. Don't pay attention to social media. Pay attention to you. Pay attention to what will make you happy and to what's really meaningful to you. All right, tips number two is chase purpose, not the bag. A lot of us spend a lot of time. I think it's just a culture, grind hard, hustle hard, get that money, get that bag. I heard someone say, like, I don't care what I do as long as I'm getting the money. And I'm just like, no, that's the wrong way of thinking. Don't get me wrong, we all have to work because, we got to pay them bills. I get that. But at the end of the day, you got to chase purpose. You got to find your passion. You got to find something that's really meaningful to you, because one of
because
the reasons why a lot of us hate our jobs is because we get to do something that we don't like, we don't have passion about. That's why sometimes it's so hard to get up in the morning. We have to drag ourselves out the bed to go brush our teeth, to get ready, to hop in the car so we can go to a job that we absolutely hate. We don't have passion for it. I'm just going to speak for myself. I know if someone were to come offer me the same pay that I'm getting paid right now from my current employer to do something that I absolutely love, I'll be the happiest guy on earth. It may not be a lot of money, but if I'm getting paid exactly what I'm getting paid right now, doing something that I love, I'll be the happiest man on earth. I will wake up every single day with a big smile on my face because I get to do something that's really meaningful to me. I get to do something that gives me purpose, makes me find my place here on earth, something that I'm passionate about. And I see some parents, it's sad, but I do have to bring this up. I know all of us have a bad day at work. Like, it's given. All of us at some point will have a bad day at work. But I see some parents, they'll have a bad day at work, and just the fact that they don't do something that they love, that bad day is like triple, it's enhanced. And as a result, they come back and their family have to pay the price for it. They use their kids, they use their spouse as the punching bags. And that's not right. That's not okay. Your family and the people that loves you should be kind of like your safe spot, and you should not treat them anyhow or any differently because you had a bad day at work. So you have to really pay attention to that, and that only comes down from doing something that we don't like. Because when you're doing something that you love, like I said, it will not feel like work. I know this guy, it was a while back, he was working for the Pepsi Center, and this was the time I was still back home in Denver. And I remember me and him were talking. It was my manager at the time, and he kind of told me the whole story how he was managing Pepsi Center. Pepsi Center is the place where the Nuggets play in Denver, and he told me how much money he was making, over 150,000 a year. And then he quit that job so he can become a manager at a movie theater, movie tavern, right? Movie theater. And I asked him, I was like, why? Why would you do that? You're making a lot of money. And he told me the stress was crazy. He couldn't handle it anymore. Even though he was making a lot of money, but the stress was crazy. He had to leave for his health, to preserve his health. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of guys out there making a lot of money, but they're doing something that they don't love. So once again, chase your purpose. That is tip number two. Find something that's meaningful to you. Find your passion. Because when you find your passion, you find your purpose, it makes the world a better place. Because if you're doing something that you love, you're more likely to do it every single day at the best of your abilities. And as a result of that, you're more likely to be consistent, to be dedicated toward whatever that you're doing, whatever your craft is. And over time, you're going to gain enough experience to become an expert in whatever that you do. And then after that, you can teach the next generation. So it all goes back in circle. Tip number three is know your worth. You have to know your worth. If you are working at a company where you don't feel value, where you feel like maybe they're not paying you what you deserve, then go out there, find a job that will, or go out there, get more skill in order for you to qualify to get that type of pay. If you're in a relationship and you feel like you're not being heard, you feel like you get mistreated all the time, you're just not happy, go out there, find a relationship that will give you that. Life is way too short. You have to know your worth. If you have friends who are doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, who wants to crash out, who wants to do dumb stuff to get them in trouble with the law or just dumb stuff. Like, I don't need to tell you guys all this stuff, but like, we all have those friends. It seems like they're just not growing up. It seems like they're just not getting the memo. Hey, dude, we're getting older, so we got to be a little bit more serious. We got to be a little bit more, careful on what we do because we have kids now. And if you have friends like that, you have to cut them loose. Go out there, make you some better friends. I don't care if you've known them for years. If they always the type of friends that will talk bad behind your back, that will always take. But when you're in trouble, when you're in need of help, they're never there to help you. Cut them loose. You have to know your worth. And I'm not trying to get political at all, but if you voted for a particular party, political party, and they're not delivering on what they promised you, then vote differently next time. You have to know your worth. And one thing you have to keep in mind, just because you know your worth, it does not mean the world is going to give it to you easy. Just because you feel like you deserve to get paid a lot more than what you're getting paid now, or just because you feel like you deserve to find an amazing boyfriend or girlfriend compared to what you have now, it does not mean that it's going to come to you easy. Because the thing about the world, the thing about the universe is that it's always going to provide some type of resistance towards you getting what you want, just to kind of see if you're really about that life. If you're going for what you want is really what you want. If you're willing to make the sacrifice, if you're willing to stay dedicated, if you're willing to stay consistent, if you want it bad enough, the world will never just give it to you easy. It's going to test you. There's always going to be some type of resistance. And those type of resistance comes in shapes of disappointment, rejection, setbacks, obstacles, like hardship. You got to always understand that the world would never give it to you just here you go. It's going to make you work for it. Tip number four is you have to take risk, because I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this saying, closed mouth don't get fed. Put your money where your mouth is. Scare money don't make no money. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Same thing applies here. You have to take some risk, because if you don't take any risk, then your chance of succeeding is at zero. If you're an entrepreneur and you've been thinking about starting your own business, go out there and take a risk. Start your own business. If you're a comedian, go out there, find that open mic and give it a shot. Work on your jokes. If you're an author, go out there and publish your first book. If you see that dream girl, that girl you've been dying to talk to, go out there, talk to her, shoot your shot, because you just never know. If you're a content creator like myself, go out there, start creating content. Yeah, first you may not be good, like myself, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Active participation, active learning is what helps you make progress. It's better than passive participation and passive learning. Get in the game, go ahead and take some risk. And I'm not saying go out there and be stupid and, risk your whole life saving or risk your rent money or do something bad or take some crazy loan out. to start a business. Now, take some calculated risk, but you have to take risk. You have nothing to lose because I don't know if you notice, life tends to reward risk takers. Risk takers in life are the winners. So you got to take a risk. Tips number 5, and this goes for parents. You have to start teaching your kids money literacy. It starts from a young age. Dinner table talk or kitchen table talk. Like when you're paying your bills, what I usually do is when I'm going to pay bills or whether I'm paying it online or whether I have to go in person and pay my bills, I always take my son with me. And I always teach him, like, hey, we have to pay this bill because of this and that. You have to explain it to them why you're doing that, break it down to a language that they can understand. For example, when I go pay my car note, I tell my son, hey, I have to pay for the car note to the bank because the bank lend me money so I can have this car so we can drive. And I have to make a payment until it's paid off. Teach them all this stuff. Teach them how to manage money. When you go to the grocery store, make a list. You tell them, hey, we have to make a list because it's going to save us time. And when we go in there, we're not going to spend time buying stuff that we don't need. Start teaching your kid money literacy from a young age. It's only going to help them. Because whether you like it or not, the world is going to have some type of influence on them. Whether so you try your best to have the most influence on them while they're still young. Teach them about money. Teach them how to save for rainy day, but also teach them to, you know, to use their money to make more money. Start small. You ain't gotta be big or complicated. Start teaching them little by little. As they get older, you can get a little bit more complex. Start teaching them about credit. Start teaching them about personal finance. It starts from the house. And tip number 6 is you have to become aware of your conscious and unconscious patterns. For me personally, in the past, when I got money or when I got paid, I used to just spend money eating out. I'll go out to the bars or I'll go out with my friends. And for some reason, when I get drunk, I like to buy people drinks. It's weird. I don't do that now because I'm like, bro, I'm broke. So what I do now is just take enough for what I need. But in the past, I'll take out 200 with me. And by the time I get back, that 200 is gone. But now when I go out, I'll take $40 out with me because I know, hey, when I get drunk, I like to buy people drinks. I want them to be in the same level as me because it's not fun when you're drunk as shit and your friend is not at that level. So it's always better if all you guys are at the same level. But you got to pay attention to those habits because it's not good. It's not helping you make progress at all. So pay. Some of you guys like to impress your friends. You want to buy new clothes when you don't really have it like that. Some of you guys take girls on too many dates. You're spending money to take girls on dates that don't even like you. Some of you guys are not even able to say no to people when they ask you for money, family members especially. I'm African and I know about that. If you don't know how to say no, if you don't know how to stay firm, like your African family will run you dry. They will take all your money because they will ask. So sometimes you have to be the bad guy. And most importantly, some of you guys will spend money on people that will not do the same thing for you. They wouldn't even spend a dime on you. So pay attention to those things. That is tip number 6. And in conclusion, I'm just going to end with this. I'm not talk about those 6 tips, and hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to send across. But the most important thing is you have to be grateful for what you have. Even if you have a small car, even if your car is beat up, if it's running, be proud of what you got. Because there's people out there in the world that will trade you places in a heartbeat. There's always someone out there who's suffering more than you, who are struggling to eat, who are struggling to pay their rent, who are dealing with sickness. Like there's always someone out there who's in a worse position than you. So you have to be happy with what you got. Be appreciative of your family. Be appreciative of your wife, your girlfriend, your friends. If there are good people, you have a good tribe around you, be happy. That's why, if you're not happy, even if you do get a lot of money and all that stuff, it won't change you. You're still going to be miserable. So work on yourself. So I'm just going to add this here. You are rich than most people of the past, because wealth, what we view as wealth, is dynamic. Back in 2010, iPhone 10 was the most popping thing ever. Now in 2025, it's no longer iPhone 10. So wealth is never static. What we perceive as rich or wealth, it's always moving. It's never static. In the past, when you had TV, when you had washer and dryer, when you had a microwave, you were considered rich because those things were considered luxury. But now you have that in your house. You may be broke, but you have that in your house. So think of it that way. You are already rich than most people of the past. You just have to be grateful for what you got. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Let me know what you think. Always comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.